So what have we learned over the years? When we balance for lysine and methionine, we get increased milk components. We see increases in protein, and 6-7 times out of 10 we see an increase in butterfat. And producers and nutritionists alike, every presentation, and I'm going to tell you what I don't know before you ask. Why an increase in butterfat? Why an increase in butterfat when we balance for amino acids? Well, one thing that we can't forget about is that every metabolic reaction in the body requires amino acids. Because every metabolic reaction requires an enzyme. And every enzyme in the body is protein. And fat, when it's synthesized in the liver and exported out of the liver, is encapsulated in protein. And it's transported in the blood in protein. And it's taken up in the mammary gland in protein. That's part of protein. More scientific than that, I can't explain it. But it's an observation. If you see an increase in milk protein percentage when you start balancing for lysine and methionine, consider it a tip of the iceberg. Because if that cow responds so quickly, and by the way, she'll respond by the second and third milkings. You don't see the full effect maybe for 3-4 months. But you will see an effect in the bulk tank within a week or less. If that happens, man, there's a methionine or methionine lysine deficiency in that herd. All cows? Probably not. 80% of the cows? Very possibly. Very possibly. Think of the impact that that's having on other things in the body. So use this just as a barometer. Also, accepting low components because of high production appears to be an excuse. And we've certainly learned that over the last 3 or 4 years, where we're getting really high components now in herds that also have very high milk. We see increased milk yields. It's very hard to pick up on most farms. But in research trials, we have definitely seen that. And where we've looked at individual cow differences within experiments, you know, this is kind of an amazing thing. About 80% of the cows will respond with more milk protein, but only about 20% of the cows will respond with more milk. Okay? Apparently the cows aren't as homogeneous as we would like to think they are. And we see most of that increase in milk yield in early lactation, not in mid or later lactation. Yes?
Dr. Schwab, your comment there that it's very hard to pick up
on milk yield.
Farms, right?
Yeah.
Milk yield.
Yeah.
But you can certainly see it in a well-designed lab facility.
Yes, that's correct.
Why is it so hard to pick up?
Because it's more targeted on the high-producing cows. So all the milk from the farm goes into the same tank, right? So if only 15–20% of your cows are responding with more milk, it's going to be very hard to pick up. Very hard to pick up.
But you know it's there. Definitely there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, here's just a result of 15 experiments where we've tried to balance for rumen-protected lysine or rumen-protected lysine and methionine. Okay? And on average, across these studies, there was 6.1 pounds more milk. But this is all early lactation. All within the first 10 weeks of lactation. Okay? And some of these trials were only in the first 4 weeks of lactation. Now you'll notice there are 3 trials here, or 3 treatments where there was a negative. And all those happened at the University of New Hampshire. But just to convince you I'm an honest man, I put it up there. Okay, I didn't keep it from you. I'm not selling anything here. I'm still in education. We got 3 negative values. You know why we did, in retrospect? It's because we were really pushing methionine at those cows. And we thought we had a high-quality blood meal. As it turned out, it wasn't worth the transportation to get it to UNH. It had almost a 0 digestibility of lysine because it was so overheated. So overheated. We didn't find that out until 5–6 years after we did the study. So if you don't have your lysine up there and you put a lot of protective methionine in the cows, you can depress feed intake. And that's what happened here. Because we got our lysine-methionine ratio totally out of kilter.